This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 604 for May 20th, 2019. Your Steve is not in my backyard.
Reaper's... He's definitely in Carl's backyard. Wink!
Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpear.
Hello.
And the Nimp.
Hello.
Quick reminder, patreon.com/E1M1. The ones are numbers. The $5 a month tier. Not like a lot of other podcasts. They do like $5 an episode. I mean, I'd like that money, so I mean that's $20 a month if you want to put that out there. But we only do $5 a month. You get access to everything. Anything above and beyond that is just basically your monetary expression of how much you love us. So open up the checkbook.
That was the most guilty, like, Dad being...
I'm Irish to a core. Yeah. I will guilt you.
Yeah, that was
guilt you into anything.
Dad, if I ever heard it.
Yeah, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
So patreon.com/E1M1. Don't forget to get all the stuff extra. We had a really great conversation for the Outcast this week. If you're not, that's the $2 tier as well. Outcast is stuff we talk about before we go live, and a lot of the interstitial stuff. We had a really good conversation about that.
I say, here's a tease. We talked about Dungeons and Daddies. If you want to know more,
that's right.
Patreon.
Yep, E1M1.com, patreon.com/E1M1.
Don't forget as well, get us to 100 patrons. Tell a friend, tell two friends, tell four friends, and then even if two friends sign up for a patron, that's very quickly we could have Boston playing scary games on stream. Please make it happen.
Yep.
Please.
I will. The chances of me crying on stream playing a scary game is high.
I want the gifts. Give me the gifts. You patrons, give me the gifts that I deserve.
Right. Give me the gifts. All right, with all that out of the way, Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
I'm going to do this in reverse importance order, I believe. So let's start with the least important. Hey guys, I'm still playing Forza Street. Hey guys, that's still a mobile game on your PC. Hey guys, let's not talk about that game again.
Deal.
I will continue to play it. Let's not make no mistakes about this here. It has achievements.
Right.
So I will continue to play it. My next update will be I have 1,000 gamer score in Forza Street.
And it is off my hard drive.
So look for me in about 10 months with that.
Right.
With that update. Let's see. Played the Division 2. A whole bunch of the Division 2. Because every month or two they do cosmetic events where you can get keys for cosmetic, like loot boxes kind of thing. Hashtag not subject to upcoming law because it's all cosmetics. But
it doesn't... I feel like it's different than something like Overwatch or something, because it feels a lot more generous.
Yeah, it does. There is a slight random chance to it, because the way it works is it will give you a weekly mission, like a weekly goal, and it's like, go do these things, you go do those things, you get like 3 keys towards this thing. There's a maximum of 40, I believe, and it takes place over the course of a month. So you'll have 4 weekly things. And
for anyone that's not playing, it's like turn in 10 hand cannons, I'm
sorry, the fact that you just said hand cannons tells me you're a Destiny player at heart.
I really am. What do they call them, pistols?
Yes.
Yeah. Bang bang shooties. And you can turn in like 10 sets of pants and do 20 missions. It's all fairly simple stuff.
Yeah, donate 200 things to a control point that you currently have. It's very general, like generic, easy stuff to do, and if you're playing the end game consistently, like it's something that
you're doing it already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I kicked that up and realized I hadn't played any. Well, I played like 4 of the invaded missions and hadn't done any of the other ones. So I went through and started doing some of the invaded stuff. I accidentally got my world up to tier 2 because I had to clear out a stronghold to be able to do that stronghold on hard difficulty.
Gotcha.
Which when your gear score is 472 and the world gear score is 330.
Right, like, why are they stopping you?
It's not that difficult to clear out a stronghold by yourself.
Well, and, like, part of the frustration, I feel like a lot of games are guilty of this. If people are above the gear score, like in Division 2, for example, even if you haven't played it on normal, they should let you play it on hard.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, if it's like a 330 and your gear score's 315, hard should say, look, you should be above 400 something. You know, there should be a recommended thing.
Yeah, give me the time-honored tradition of a red skull.
Yep.
That's all you need, and I'm not talking
about... And a warning sign.
Captain America's arch rival, I'm talking about a little symbol.
Right.
Like, give me that.
Yeah.
But no, I couldn't even play it on hard because it was invaded. So I had to actually beat the invaded version before I can unlock the hard version, which now I have done. So my wife and I will be jumping in and doing that. But the apparel cache keys that it does a great thing as well, where every time you get a field proficiency chest, which for those who haven't hit level cap, that's when you hit level 30, every time you level up after that, it gives you a chest. And it's like, here is a chest at your current world tier. Go ahead and open it, and then you can get some additional gear from it. So it's always giving you gear constantly.
Yeah.
But every time you level up, or you get one of those chests, it gives you a chance of the event-based apparel key dropping at the same time.
Right.
So my wife leveled up like 10 times and got 0 apparel keys.
Great.
I leveled up like 10 times and got like 7.
That sounds on brand for both of you.
Yeah, so I'm the one who gets all the lucky keys, and she's the one who has to go out and spend the actual money for it. It's about right. It's the exact same thing happened with the Siege, like Rainbow Unicorn events. If you get to Chunka's head, I'm going to be mad.
Right.
First
look what I got.
I got to Chunka's head. Great. But no, it's the Division 2. It's fun. I'm especially liking the fact that I'm not at World Tier 5. I'm loving the fact that I can literally roll into anything I want and just crush them all under my boots.
Yep.
It's so good. And pre-show today, Boston was talking about the raid boss.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it. It is. It's so ridiculous. I love it.
It's dumb in the best ways.
And I'm glad that so for anyone that didn't hear, Division's first 8-man raid came out this week, and I have not played it. I doubt I really ever will, but I just had to see the final boss based on the description, and I'm really happy it's not just a big dude, because that was my concern, was you're really only fighting big dudes and like robot dogs. I'm glad they made something weird and cool and huge and different.
Yeah, and good on them for taking the logical extreme. Like, I didn't even realize the big massive drones flying around in the world were things you could shoot down.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until I was like, why is there a question mark, and why is it getting closer to me then further away? This makes no sense.
Yeah.
Until I looked up and saw the big thing flying around. I was like, what happens if I shoot it?
Those are really good too. If you can get them as soon as the guy spawns them, it'll do a ton of damage to the guy that tossed them in the air.
Oh, I don't even mean the little things. I'm talking about the giant ones on the open world map. There are like those random events. And it looks like a Metal Gear Solid boss.
It does.
It's just a giant quadcopter flying around, dumping a bunch of things out. It's just like, okay, sure.
Yeah, I guess I'll shoot this thing.
But yeah, Division 2 is a good game and I enjoy it, and better than Destiny 2, just saying.
I like them both.
You are completely entitled to your incorrect opinion.
It's fair enough.
So yeah, Division 2. I played a little bit of Dead by Daylight. Only a little bit. I'm pretty much jumping in, doing the daily quests, because it does daily quests, and getting a whole bunch of bonus blood points.
Blood points.
Feels gross when I talk about this game because it uses horror terminology so well.
Right.
Like the XP, like the level up mechanic is the blood web.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And like the things, like you can use the items and you have charms which you have to donate to the entity, and the entity. Like, it's so on brand for this game. It's hilarious.
Yep. Pray to the void.
Well,
buying DLC.
Yes. But no, it's Dead by Daylight. It's fun. It doesn't, like I said, like graphically, it's never been a king of the graphics thing, but it's just so much fun, stupid fun to just run around, especially when you get that thing where when you've got a killer on the ropes. As a survivor, if you're one of these survivors who can do the dip dodge mechanic really well, where you act unpredictably and the killer struggles to figure out which way you're gonna go, like you can get them swinging and missing over and over and over and over again, and you just know that killer gets more and more frustrated.
Yeah,
because there's no mic communication at all in the game. Like you can't, even if you like have a headset in, you cannot communicate with any of the other players. There is no voice chat at all. So it's hilarious just watching this kill, and you can tell they're getting more frustrated. And then eventually they just turn around and walk away from you, and it's like, yeah, okay,
I'll get you suckers later.
My job was done here. And one of my dailies this week was to play as The Shape.
The Shape.
It's just, it feels like I'm speaking in a foreign language when I talk about this game.
Pretty much are, yeah.
Yeah. But The Shape being Michael, who I've talked about before being one of the scariest killers to be a survivor against. He does, like, his killer mechanics are actually very interesting, because I feel like it plays into his history and lore in the movies. Every killer has a special ability. Left trigger, right trigger, basically. So left trigger is one move, right trigger is just the standard swiping kind of thing. Michael's left trigger, like, for example, the Doctor, who his left trigger ability is electrocution. So he does this AoE attack around him, which electrifies nearby survivors and then makes them scream, reveals their locations, things like that. Michael's is, he holds his knife up and just stares at people.
Oh God.
And he basically has this ability where it's called stalking somebody. So as you hold the left trigger, if you're focused on somebody, it increases his power on this thing to like tier 3. Normally it takes 2 hits to put somebody down, but if you get to tier 3 by stalking someone, you're faster, and then when you hit them, they get downed in one immediate thing.
Oh God.
But while you're doing the stalking thing, you're moving slower. So you're literally walking very slowly with your knife held up, and this person is just like running around trying to get away from you. And as long as they're in line of sight, you're leveling up this ability. And then you let go of that trigger when you hit stage 3, and all of a sudden he's like a bullet out of a gun, and he's just like really quick moving. And then you get to somebody, you hit them once, and they're on the floor, and you're like, yeah, this is Michael. It feels like Michael, like just moving so slowly at first, and then next thing you know, he's on top of you, and you're dead.
That's cool.
I don't know how they've managed to do it with all of the licensed killers. Like, they've somehow managed to give them their special abilities that play so well into their existing lore. I mean, the fact that you can't see Freddy until he puts you in a dream state, like, that's his special ability, is he makes you fall asleep, and only then can you see him. You don't know where he is until he makes you fall asleep.
Man.
It's French chef's kiss.
You can just tell they really love horror movies.
Yes. I'm hearing rumblings about the Scream guys as well, so that's going to be really interesting to see what they do with that. Like, do you get the calls inside the house kind of thing going on? Hello, Sydney. Like, I'm curious to see where it's going to go.
Yeah.
Okay, my mobile game of the week, other than Florence, go listen to the Game Club episode.
Go play Florence.
Play Florence.
It's half an hour. It's really great.
Yes. My other mobile game is Konami Pixel Puzzle.
Cross this off my list.
Oh, somebody else played
Konami
it this week.
Pixel Puzzle Collection.
Yes, aka
of course, because it's a nonogram game.
Yes. It feels to me like Speed Picross.
Yeah, it can be. It's pretty standard Picross.
Yeah, minus I don't know how many Picrosses do the automatically fill in the X's thing. I'm guessing you turn that off immediately.
No, I love having that on, because it's, to me, I like that feature a lot, and a lot more games are doing it. And just this one too has an option to turn it off. I like when I've finished a row or a column, I know I'm done with it. And like it just crosses it off. I'll fill in the X's if I'm like filling in the edges, and that's fine. But once I'm done with it, like I'm gonna cross it off anyway. Just do it for me. Yeah. Like I don't want to waste the time.
So I learned about this thanks to the Bombcast this week. Who was it? It's the IT guy, the person you hate who does VR stuff. Not Dan Rackett.
Will Smith.
There we go. He was on it this week. It's bad that I know who they are by who you don't like.
Right.
Like, that's pretty bad. He was on it and he recommended it, or he was talking about it. And you know what? It's a Picross game. It's a Konami Picross game, which is the freakiest thing.
A retro Konami Picross game.
And it's free?
It is. Like, free for real with, I think, 160, 70-something puzzles?
Yeah. Who over at Konami is getting high?
Yeah, I don't know, but the crazy part is, I really love Picross nonogram games. This is probably one of the best ones.
It's really good, and the
it's really great.
Music is so cool.
Oh god, I haven't even turned on the music yet.
Turn on the music, dude. It does such cool like chiptunes.
I'll have to listen to that. Part of what I think is really cool is, I think the tutorial is fine.
It's a distinctly average tutorial.
Yeah, like I wish someone would figure out a great way to do a tutorial for nonogram games and just give it to everybody. I think one of the things that's really neat about it is when you start, there's like 4 icons you can pick from, and only one of them is highlighted. You pick it, and it rolls the dice and just gives you a random puzzle. You're not like, you don't have a list of like, here's the Castlevania ones, here's the Tokameki Memorial ones.
What did you just say? That wasn't even English?
Tokameki Memorial. It's one of the characters. Parodius is one of the options. There's like 8 different Konami classic, like Bomberman is another category.
Apparently, I haven't played enough Konami games because I recognize like 2 of those names.
Yeah, it's like Konami. It's like Bomberman, Castlevania. I can fire it up here while we're talking. Get the rest of the categories. Parodius, their parody side-scrolling shooter. But what's really great is it just rolls the dice and it'll give you, all right, this one's Bomberman. It's a 5x5, it's 1-star difficulty. This one's going to give you Tokameki Memorial, it's 10x10, it's a 2-star difficulty. And you don't really get a choice. So the categories are action, which is just kind of Castlevania, mostly. Shooting, thinking. It's like, some of the stuff is like nuts and milk.
I got one which was like Tokyo Schoolgirls, and I was like, this is Konami.
Yeah, that's Tokameki Memorial.
Okay.
Yeah, Schoolgirls, Bomberman, Parodius, and Gradius. And it, I think part of it is it controls really well, which I think is a really weird way of putting it for a nonogram game.
Can you zoom in? Because I'm struggling with the zoom.
On 15x15 ones, you can. Okay. Yeah.
I've only done 10x10s is my biggest so far.
Yeah, 10x10 you can't. If you can, there's like a magnifying glass button at the top.
Okay.
But I think it controls really well when you're dragging across multiple cells. It'll show you how many you're dragging across, so you don't have to worry about it. It does the automatic cross out like you talked about. It does one of my favorite things that I don't know if you can configure it in this game, but if you've made progress on a row or a column, it'll start crossing out the numbers on the sides.
Yep, so if you've got 1, 3, and you've got the 1, it'll just cross out the 1 and it'll leave the 3.
And I think that's super helpful. I think giving people the option to turn that stuff off for like the real true experience is great, but make it as easy as it can for puzzles like this. Have you gotten to the boss puzzles?
I have not yet, no.
Okay, so after I think it unlocks at like 5%. So I've played a lot of this game over the last couple of days. I'm at 7% completion.
Oh, jeez.
There's hundreds of puzzles in this.
I feel like I played a lot, and I'm at like 2.6%, so that should give you an idea, folks.
There's a lot. Boss puzzles are really great because it unlocked a boss puzzle, and I was like, all right, let's see how dumb this is. They're fractal puzzles. So it's a 16 4x4 grid, and each one of those cells in that grid is a 15 by 15 puzzle. It looks like the only restriction is when you finish one, you have to wait 4 hours to do another one in that grid. Which is fine. It's a free game. That's fine.
And also it unlocks other puzzles for you to go and do. Like, you can go back and, like, it has this basically, like, this 4 square panels, and as you increase the percentage, you unlock more. So if you get stuck on one, you could just back out of that one, jump into a different, like, square.
And just try another one.
A random thing. It's like... How did Konami make this? How did Konami make this well?
When I heard Konami was making a nonogram game, I was like, great, here we go. It's going to be another really bad one of these. It's probably my second favorite nonogram game on mobile. My first favorite is still Paint It Back, because I think that's the best beginner nonogram game I can think of. I think it costs like $3 or $4, I think. If you want to try something in this genre that I dearly love, it is free. It is really good. It's called the Konami Pixel Puzzle Collection.
Yes. I think on Android, I think it's just Pixel Puzzle. I think it's Konami Pixel Puzzle on Android.
Yeah.
I again, this is something Will Smith talked about, like, and I thought, I know Boston likes them. I'll give it a shot and see if I like it, to see if I can recommend it for him. So Boston's already ruined one of my 2 recommendations today by having played it before I did.
But I have this, like, nonogram, like, spidey sense. Where I was like, ooh, I think a new one got released.
When you say spidey sense, do you mean Google Alerts?
No, I should. But I don't know if Konami has called this a nonogram game in the store.
I don't believe they have, no.
Yeah.
I think it's about as generic as it can be without ever referencing things like Picross or anything along those lines.
Yeah, Konami Pixel Puzzle.
Yep.
Yeah, of course, on the iOS store, it's just called Pixel Puzzle Collection, not Konami Pixel Puzzle.
Yep. You only know it's Konami because it's got a big red Konami right across the bottom of the logo for it.
Yeah, see your favorite game characters in the form of picture logic puzzles. Yep. Also known as nonograms. There we go.
It does do it.
Yeah.
Well, no, Konami Pixel Puzzle, I've always, like, I have minimal experience with Picross games. I played the first one, and that is it. Like, I bounced off a couple of them. It's really good. I played it before I went to bed last night, and it was genuinely pretty cool.
I play them a lot before I go to bed as, like, my wind-down thing, where it's like, if I can get through a couple puzzles, cool. If I'm too tired to figure it out, that's cool, too. I'll just go to bed.
Yep. So, yeah.
For anyone that wants to try these, this would be the one to try.
Yeah, it's a good...
I just looked it up on Android because I'm downloading it now to try it.
Yes. Yes.
It is just Pixel Puzzle Collection on Android, but it's got the Konami icon. So
Yep.
Perfect. Yeah.
It's so dumb. But, you know...
Yep.
General question for the gentleman in the room here and the audience listening. I thought Konami didn't make games anymore.
I mean,
pachinko machines, that's a game.
Yeah, not new games apparently.
Pachinko machines are gaming. This is a difference.
That's true.
I don't understand Konami. They're like 1 foot in, 1 foot out of this industry every single time you turn around.
I bet though, if we were to really look into it, I bet Konami didn't make this. They just said, here's a bunch of characters we can license to you. Go make us a Picross game.
Yeah, and there is also that wonderful button on the actual game home screen itself, which is like, check out more apps. And I guarantee you those apps are going to be the ones that are like $20 to play Metal Slug or whatever it is.
Sure, yeah.
Like,
yeah, all the other Konami licensed mobile games.
Yeah. Oh,
do you like... Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I was just thinking, I wonder if they're in this weird stage where they're still trying to figure out what they are. Well, I mean, because
for the last, like, 10 years, yeah.
Like, once Kojima left, I mean, they didn't really do a whole lot. And it's not saying Kojima was the only person they had.
They had Pro Evolution Soccer, but they sort of screwed that up. Longer and longer that went on, they screwed that up.
They are only making Pro Evo to get that contract done, as far as I'm aware right now, because they
100%.
They signed a long-term deal with the Champions League, well, the rights and the European leagues, and they're the type of people where if you don't put out something, they ain't got no problem in coming down to you and saying, give us our money back, we paid you,
right,
and you paid us. And
we don't care about a contract. You haven't put a game in 2 years, so yeah, they're such a mess. Like, come on. Yeah, just flat out.
I don't know what's going on over there, but that's fine. Okay, we done on Pixel Puzzle? Everyone?
Yeah, go get it. It's free.
Tetris 99.
Yes.
I wish there was some way I could time travel this message into the future. There is an event going on right now in Tetris 99.
Yep.
Where if you get 100 points, which is really easy, I did it in the amount of time it takes half of Game of Thrones to air. I watched last week's episode while I was playing.
So in 30 hot minutes.
Yes. Well, it's 90-minute episodes this season, dude. I mean, come on.
Okay.
What
so 45
show,
minutes.
Dude?
Sorry.
I got 100 points in that amount of time. I got like 10th place, maybe 7th on one of them, and the rest of it was just I was playing hot garbage. However, I did unlock the classic Game Boy skin. So I am...
My son unlocked that too yesterday.
Totally fine with that. Like,
it looks real cool.
Give me the Game Boy skin. I'm happy.
It looks cool, and it changes the sound effects too, doesn't it? Because I heard the old Tetris song playing.
Yes.
Yep.
It plays the old music, which is
Song A.
Yes, which is pretty good too. So it just makes me think of, is it Blair? Song 2?
Yeah, Song 2. Yeah.
Yes.
Woohoo.
Yes. Now that's going to be stuck in my head. Thank you very much. You had to do
That's a great video too. If anyone hasn't seen that video, just go watch Blur's Song 2. It's like a 90-second song.
Go watch it and then prepare to have that song haunt the rest of your life.
Go listen to more Blur. Blur is really great. They have a lot more stuff other than that.
Mm-hmm. 2 songs have cursed my life. That is one of them. 3 songs have cursed my life.
Okay.
That is one of them. Seven Nation Army is the other one.
Yeah.
And Sandstorm is the third one.
Yep, that makes sense.
And Sandstorm have cursed my life the longest because it's Sandstorm.
Yeah, and it's the oldest.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I played Tetris 99. Guess what? It's still a good Tetris game, and they've just put DLC out for it where you can play like single player mode essentially.
Yeah.
So, okay, sure, whatever.
so many people got up in arms that they released this $10 single player DLC for Tetris 99. It's like, cool, but the game's free, so you don't have to buy it.
No.
Or don't buy it and don't play it. Just play the free mode.
Consider this their season pass.
Yeah. Consider it just like, hey, a $10 Tetris game by itself is really cheap.
Yes.
So
I say that as someone who wants Puyo Puyo Tetris on the Xbox One, which is only available from Japan.
Oh.
That's not cheap.
Yeah, no.
And my final game this week. This is going to be the difficult one to talk about, I think.
Okay.
This is my final recommendation for Boston, who promptly during the week said no thank you when we tried to explain it to him. This is Descenders.
Oh, so not that I had said no thank you, but the a lot of the early access version of this was a thin experience, and I'm very happy to see that it's a much more robust game now.
Oh boy, this is an insane game. I want to, again, time travel messages here. I'm going to send this one back 10 years. Maybe 8 years. Ryan, Dave Mirra is back. Yes. It's called Descenders.
Yeah, and it's a roguelike.
And it's a roguelike downhill mountain bike simulator.
Yep.
With procedurally generated levels.
Oh, wow.
And it's real weird.
Yeah.
And it's on Game Pass right now, right?
And it's on Game Pass right now,
yeah.
Yes. So I thank my wife because she has this habit of just diving into games and somehow being able to recommend good ones for us. I believe she's responsible for This Is the Police being on the Game Club list as well. So
God, This Is the Police is so good.
Yes, it is. We should.
I was thinking about playing that again. I was like, I'm not feeling well. I could play some This Is the Police.
Yeah.
Listen to some jazz music.
So, I'm trying to describe the Descenders. Yeah, I mean, procedurally generated downhill mountain bike roguelike game. It's run-based, first and foremost.
Permadeath.
It's just hard. Technically, it's called Wrecked with a K.
Right.
R-E-K-T, Wrecked.
Right.
I don't know why. It has to be, I guess.
Glutened.
So, this thing is... It's hard to explain. So, you have a cyclist? A biker? How do we describe downhill mountain bikers?
Cyclist?
Yeah, okay. So, you have a guy.
Biker is fine.
You have a guy. He rides a bike. He rides it downhill.
Mm-hmm.
When you start the game, it teaches you the basic controls. Like, you can pump, like, you can do the whole pump on the wibbles, you can do the bunny hops off, you can spin, you can do basic tricks, and you can do flippy flips. What the game neglects to mention is there is an advanced control section if you do decide to play this game based on my recommendation today, which I am recommending this game. Go check out the advanced controls because it teaches you more about some things you need to know, like stoppies, wheelies, that kind of thing. Basically, you have a career that you go on, except the career is basically just another way of saying run.
I can finally have a career again. Hell yeah.
Yes. So you go on these runs. So you start off and it's a nice simple area. It's like 4 different stages. You start with essentially 4 lives. A life in this case is a bale. So you have a little heartbeat monitor with 4. You make it from the top of the specific run to the bottom. You don't lose a life. Every single map gives you bonus objectives. So like, do 2 360s, and if you do 2 360s and then complete the run, you get an extra life, essentially. Every time you bail, you lose a life. If you go particularly fast and bail, or particularly high and bail, you lose 2 lives. So it's like a punishment for a very severe bail.
Okay.
It starts off nice and easy with like a little wibble, a little wobble, a ramp that you can jump off and then do a little spin and a trick and stuff and then land, and it's great. And you traverse...
For anyone that's wondering what I'm doing, I'm just using the Game Pass app to install it on my Xbox right now.
As you start off on a point of the map, and your whole point is to get through this map essentially by going to these points to get to the boss jump.
Oh, great.
Because of course, why not?
That's so dumb, I love it.
Yeah. You can choose the path you want to go down. So you can choose, okay, do you want to focus on stunts? Do you want to focus on speed? Do you want to be more off-roading kind of person? And you choose which one of those. Like, so you start at one point, you don't get given a choice. You do that map, then it'll be like, oh, here's 3 points off the map, or off your starting point that you can go to. This one is curvy mild, this one is steep straight, and this one is curvy stunts. And that is a brief description of what that level will entail. So curvy mild will mean it's a slight downhill with a bunch of curves and maybe a couple of jumps, nice and simple.
But nothing crazy.
Yeah. Steep straight will be like, it's a downhill course, so it'll have 1 or 2 jumps, but mostly it's going to be about maintaining your speed levels, 10 in the corners accurately, trying not to go flying off your bike, the next available corner, which will happen.
Sure.
100% you will hit a berm and you will send your body skyrocketing into the air, like
land on a tree.
What was it? Nailed? NAIL''D, where you just like flew off a motorbike into like different things.
Right. Try to hit a target and stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you bail, it looks like that because you just go all over the place. It's hilarious. But then you'll get like objectives like finish the map without ever letting go of the accelerator button.
Oh wow!
And when you get that on a downhill downhill one,
hold on for dear life.
It can be troublesome. I mean, the controls work pretty well though, because it's generally right trigger is pedal, left trigger is brake. Obviously, left stick is move around. Your right stick is to skid essentially, so it's controlling the bike, not you. So left stick is you turning. The right stick is like, say you want to put a little bit of like a skid in to slow down. If you use the right stick, he tilts the bike, not himself, and does a little skid to slow down.
Okay, so it's almost like you using your feet to like control the back end of the bike?
Exactly. So it's got a very good natural feel to it.
Yeah.
You don't touch the face buttons at all.
Great.
It's really like a very good intuitive system, and then your trick button is left bumper. So when you're in the air, you can hold left bumper and hit left on the right stick, and he'll throw his legs out. And then you're doing a can, or you're doing a no-hander, or a Superman, or
doing the Christ air.
I need to figure out how to do a tail whip, because if this game doesn't have a tail whip, I will be very, very disappointed. Because tail whip should be in every bike game. I don't care.
Yeah.
But it's got a good little control scheme. It's a little fiddly at first. I'm not going to lie. Like, when you first start playing it, you will hit every tree and every rock and every side of a building that you can see.
It's like starting out with Ollie Ollie, where you're like, this doesn't control well, and like it clicks with you, and you're like, oh, it controls really well. I just needed to get experienced with it.
Exactly.
Get better.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the type of game that will yell "geek good" at you if you keep crashing. Like, it's got that kind of attitude. But then you do things like you've got sponsor missions, like you can impress a sponsor and then get a sponsorship, and then the sponsor gives you daily objectives to do, which unlock gear for that sponsor.
Wow. Okay, cool.
And then there's a daily run.
Oh, of course.
And there's a secondary career path with 4 different environments that I haven't even touched yet. And I've put so many hours into this game this week. It's so dumb. I don't want to incite the name 3 weeks in a row, but this feels like a BMX Alpha Protocol game because it's slightly shoddy in so many ways.
Right.
And slightly amazing in other ways as well.
It's like a small team made it, but they obviously really loved their game.
Mm-hmm. And I was talking to my wife about this, but it does the best thing about like BMX kind of games, which is if you're going fast and you hit a jump, all you hear is that back wheel clicking, that little...
Right, that's cool.
A really good sound while you're in the air, and then the really good crunch as you fail to rotate yourself correctly and land on your face.
As you break your spine.
Yeah. But it does so many things really, really well. I cannot recommend this enough. If you, like, this is the Game Pass, this is that video Game Pass podcast. We all know this by now.
Right.
We all endorse the Game Pass. If you like BMX games and you're missing one, because let's face it, there hasn't been a good BMX game in decades at this point.
Yeah.
It's not a bad starting point, and it's a real good roguelike introduction point as well, because it teaches you the life mechanics, the bailing. Do you want to take the risks and get the points? Because as you're progressing through these maps, you get rewarded for your score on the runs, and you unlock crew members, which affect the procedural generation nature of the levels. So you can unlock a crew member who makes bigger ramps for you if you want to do stunts, or like not as tight turns, so it's a nice smooth transitions, or more downhill or less downhill, or easier to land when you go big air. It's like there's many different modifiers that it's thrown at you all at once. And then you unlock cosmetic items just by playing the game and getting score.
Loot boxes? No, I'm kidding.
It kind of is. It's just randomly rewarded based on how you do. I unlocked a Vuvuzela.
Is it mounted to your bike?
It's mounted directly where your T of your handlebars are. There's 2, and it goes down each side of the actual main wheel.
Nice.
And it curves up. And you click the right stick in and it goes...
That's really great.
Whenever you click the right stick in.
That's the kind of dumb I want.
It's really stupid and fun, and it's a bad game. I'm not going to lie. It's not perfection in video games. It's nothing like that. But it's just the right side of dumb. Like, this is a triple B game. This is a stupid giant ants Earth Defense Force kind of game, but for BMX. Give it a go. I mean, it's on Game Pass. If you're on Game Pass, just download it, give it a go.
I downloaded it. It's like 5 gigs, so it's pretty tiny.
And I've already sunk like 12, 13 hours into that, and I only started playing this last Sunday. Like,
oh man,
so this is really good. And for the record, my wife hates the music.
Oh, okay.
It's weird, mellow EDM trance music.
Oh, weird. Okay, I'll probably dig that then.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's not my kind of music. It 100% is not. But for a bike game where you don't want to focus on the music, like it's all well and good playing Burnout Paradise, but when Paradise City comes on or when Girlfriend comes on by Avril Lavigne, you can't help but be distracted by the amazing music happening.
Well, and nowadays not everybody has the money to license Superman, so
yeah, exactly. So it's this really nice like ambient EDM thing that just blends perfectly into the background where it's just there, and you can totally switch it off in your brain if you need to, or listen to a podcast or whatever. But I feel like it fits pretty well with a cheap budget game, just this generic EDM.
Yeah.
So it's
nice.
It's fun. I like it a lot. Now I should stop talking about it. So go ahead, Nim, tell us all about your Technomancer adventures.
Well, I can't get much into it because I'm starting to get way into spoiler territory, and I know a couple other people started playing it who listen.
Yes, yeah. My wife, 100%. You guys, between the two of you and the things you said last week, you guys are responsible for that game being on her Xbox right now.
Yep.
And as a consequence, mine as well. Thank you very much.
It's a cool little game.
It's fun. But I did get... God, I've wasted so much time just doing side missions. Like, I'm not very far in the main story at all because these little icons just keep popping up. Like, oh, what's this? I'm like, oh, I can do that real quick. And
hey, Technomancer, I need your help. Look, it's the Pathfinder.
So,
I'm the Technomancer, and this is my favorite store on Mars.
Yeah, exactly.
It almost gets that done with a couple things.
Great. I love it.
So, still really enjoying that. But the other thing that I've played, my son and I have actually been playing Marvel Alliance 2 on the PlayStation 4. We had beat the first one probably 3 months ago, so we obviously went to the second one. Finally beat that, which is way better than the first one.
The second one's the Civil War, isn't it?
Correct.
Okay, so wait. I remembered this the other day, because Musum and I had talked about Civil War, and I had incorrectly thought that the comics had who was on which side reversed. I think it's Ultimate Alliance 2. I think it has it reversed from the movies and the games, who's on which side. Well, like Cap versus Iron Man.
They had Iron Man who wanted superhumans to do the registration and Captain America who didn't want to do the registration.
Yeah, where was that?
Which side did Spidey fall on?
In the game?
In the game. Because I know what it is in comics.
In the
I don't remember.
I think he fell with Iron Man because I don't think I had access to Spider-Man. Because we went with Captain America. The funny thing with that, when you're given the choice, you're in like this force field office, and they're like, okay, either sign it or you got to fight us. And I started asking my son, it's like, okay, what do you want to do? And before I even got the sentence out, he's already beating up guys. And I'm like, all right, I guess we're going.
All right, we're fighting.
So he wasn't even really paying attention at that point in time, but. So yeah, we beat that. That was a pretty fun game. Next, I ended up playing Lego Avengers with my daughter.
Hold on, okay, let's see if we can nail this down because there's like 4 different variations of this game.
The first one.
Okay, so Marvel's Lego Avengers.
Yeah, on the 360.
Right. Okay, so this is the one that recaps, I believe, it recaps the events up to Age of Ultron?
I have no clue because I haven't been allowed to play the story mode. So my wife and son had played this forever ago, and they've got pretty much everything unlocked. And my daughter and I were supposed to start the story yesterday, and you start out with Iron Man and Hulk, and you're fighting Abomination and Sandman.
Okay.
Yeah, so she didn't want to fight. Because she just wanted to do free roam, where you could just choose whatever character out of the 800 some odd characters and
right.
Yep.
So it's like, all right, fine, whatever. So we did that, which basically involved me playing as Doctor Strange flying around, her playing as Spider-Woman flying around, and then me getting yelled at, being told not to do things.
All right, sounds about right.
Yeah, so I basically just flew around the city for 2 hours.
Right.
He drove around in a car. It's like, all right, whatever, I don't care. So yeah, we didn't really do a whole lot with that. It was mostly just screwing around, checking out the different things, which I honestly, I knew it had a lot of characters. But it took me about a good 15 minutes to even figure out where Doctor Strange even was in all of that, because you're playing split screen, and even on a 46-inch screen TV, it fills your whole TV with all these characters, and you still have to scroll over, and they're still changing, because most of those characters have like 20 different costumes, or subtypes, or whatever. I mean, Iron Man's got, what, 25 by himself, pretty much?
Yeah, like so. Every suit.
Yeah. So, that game's crazy.
Yeah.
The next game that I checked out was actually Sleeping Dogs. Just because Moon was talking about it, and I realized that I actually had it on Steam as well. I had gotten
it looks so good on PC.
Yeah, so I hooked up my Xbox One controller to my PC, played probably about a good 2 hours of that. I've gotten to the point where I was... the map was open, got to my first apartment, the dingy piece of crap that is.
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked at the map and was like, oh, I've got like all these people to help. So I started helping all the shop owners. And then I got mugged by a woman asking me to check out how tight her shirt is. And I was waiting for like the prompt to come up and be like, yeah, no, that looks pretty tight. And then I got sucker punched in the back of the head.
Sleepy dogs.
Yeah. Prompting a wonderful parkour chase through the streets.
Oh yeah, and I whooped that guy's butt so hard. But, and yeah, and the driving controls are not that great.
They're not. It's super arcadey.
There was a mission that I had to do where you're stealing stuff. They were fake watches from one of the other gang members.
Yeah, you're stealing them from the 18K because your buddy, I can't remember his name at the very start of the game, he wants to steal them from them and sell them on for a profit and damage 18K at the same time. I played this game too much.
Boost, their ranking with their boss and all that stuff. So you're driving this minivan, and you're supposed to be chasing this other minivan. And the thing I forgot it did was if you hold down X while you're driving, it does the shifting movement. Where you could be driving straight, next thing you know, against all physics, you're just all of a sudden shifted to the right. And that's how you bash people off roads and stuff.
It's so good.
And between that and drifting, like, that van just handled like crap. And I was shifting, like, into buildings. And, like, every time I would think I was close enough to the van, I would shift. And I'm like, no, you're just behind it. And it's like,
just so you know, you can do that forwards, like that dash move.
I figured that out by hitting forward by accident when I meant to turn and went right into a building. But, I mean, it's still a fun game. Controls aside, I mean, it's just the driving. The fighting I'm still getting used to. It's the Batman-style fighting where you just keep beating up until you got a counter. The weapons, though, I don't know if you've noticed, Moon, but with me, I've noticed that the counter seems to be give or take with people who have weapons.
It's really annoying. This is actually from Batman as well. If someone has a weapon, it's not just a one-button counter press. You need to counter, like, the chain. So someone will come at you and do a right, left, right, and you need to counter at least the two of them, and then... But he doesn't do a counter move is the problem, so he doesn't do like dodge, disarm. He just does dodge, and then you have to hit them kind of thing.
Okay. Because there were times where it seemed like I hit it, and there are other times where I definitely did not.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
If it was more of a timing issue or what was going on with that, so...
Yeah, as soon as you can get the upgrade, I can't remember what tree it's in, but the one that reduces weapon damage that you take.
Yeah, I already did that with the Triad.
The weapons will mess you up in that game.
Yep.
So yeah, messing around with that. And then the last game that I tried was I had picked up Final Fantasy Dissidia NT.
Oh boy.
Okay. Which version? Okay,
This is the PS4 version, which is actually the arcade version.
Yep.
Of which Final Fantasy?
All of them.
Dissidia NT. So it's the fighting game. This is the most recent release of the fighting game.
Yeah.
I'm just going to smile and nod.
Remember the PSP games like Dissidia Duodecum 012?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, it's the new release of this. Came out in arcades in Japan, and they brought it over to PS4 and PC, I think.
So, yeah.
Is this just Fighters Megamix but for Final Fantasy characters?
No, it's very much still Dissidia. It's not a fighting game, but it is, and it's still really weird.
And that's what's screwing me up a little bit, because you're open field, so
third person, over the shoulder.
Yep, which isn't bad, but the controls are unnecessarily cluttered.
Yep.
You have two things. 'Cause you're not just trying to knock down their health, you're also trying to knock down their brave points.
Yep.
Which, the way that works out is you have two different attacks. You have an HP attack, and then you have your brave attack. Your brave attack is basically, like, they're both just normal attacks. It's just one knocks down brave and steals it from the enemy and gives it to you, and the HP attack knocks down their HP. That sounds simple. It's not. So
Dissidia.
So the HP attack is based on how many brave points you have compared to how many brave points the current enemy that you're fighting has.
Right.
So if they have more brave points than you do, you're not doing as much HP damage. So you have to keep hitting them with your brave attack. It steals their brave, gives you some brave, and then once you get it high enough, you can start doing decent damage to their HP.
Right.
And then you can finally knock them out. But that's it, because eventually they'll come back. Which I started figuring that out, because they'll turn into like these little ghost motifs where they look like they're glitched out and they're all pixelated and stuff. You can't hit them, they can't hit you, but they can run around and eventually they'll come back. So then it just kind of left me with trying to figure out what it is I'm supposed to be doing in the game, because they have a 3-on-3 where it's you, two AI against 3 other AI, or you can play online against people.
Mm-hmm.
I've been told they still have a really active community. Don't play with anybody online right now, because everyone online is really good.
Yeah.
So there's like different modes and stuff like that, and you're trying to fight these guys off to get to a victory point, which I don't know what that is most of the time. But you can either fight them, you can fight summon crystals while trying to protect your own summon crystal, which eventually summons your summon, which looks really cool. But there's just so much going on that it's like I don't know how to play this game.
Yeah, like I really loved the first Dissidia on PSP, because it was this 1-versus-1 like third person over shoulder fighting game that had this cool story of like, what if all the heroes and villains from Final Fantasy, like all of the Final Fantasies, 13 was the most recent one at that point, what if they all came together and like had to fight each other? And it was really cool. Very quickly after that, it totally lost its way, and it got so complicated.
They still have the light and darkness, so all the good characters from Final Fantasy 1 all the way up to 15 now are in the game. Not every single character, but a lot of them.
Yeah, they keep releasing them pretty frequently, too.
And then you've got everyone on the Chaos side, which is basically all the main enemies from all those games as well.
Yeah.
And you can pick and choose who you fight with. I mean, you start out with quite a few characters. I think there was about 15 or 20 of them that you can pick between light and chaos, or whatever they're calling it, and they all fight differently. Like they fight within the respects of their game. Like Noctis is throwing his swords and teleporting to places.
Yeah.
Warrior of Light is doing his regular sword and boarding, and he can chuck his shield and grapple him with the shield and stuff like that. And I mean, the fighting looks really cool because you're doing a lot of air dashing, ground dashing. So I mean, there's a lot of
very cool to look at.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff going on, but then it becomes to the point that there's a lot of stuff going on at once. You're not 100% sure what you're really doing to begin with.
Am I doing any of it?
Yeah, exactly. And then it just says victory, and it's like, that's great. What happened?
Right. How did I win? Yeah, I won, but I'm not sure how.
It's interesting. I'm going to look at it because I did all the tutorial for it, and that's when I started to come to the conclusion that the controls are just, they made it way too complicated. For you to be able to lock onto people, you got to hold onto the left trigger and then rotate with, or was it L2 and then R2 to rotate around. You can hit both to do some sort of lock on, I don't remember, and then to lock on to like the summon crystal, you have to hold R2 or something like that.
Next thing you know, Ifrit's coming out, and it's like, I didn't even do anything.
Yeah, it's like, what? I don't know why.
It sounds to me like they need to get the Monster Hunter World team on this.
Yeah, pare it down.
That sounds like Monster Hunter controls before this most recent one.
Yep. Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, but it seems like a lot of people who really like it like the way it is. So...
Well, yeah, go look at the Monster Hunter community about how outraged they were that you didn't have to mine for grindstones to sharpen
how
the weapon
could
anymore.
You? Yeah.
So, but I'll try it here and there. Like I picked it up forever ago because it was on clearance at a Meijer or something.
Yeah.
Like for $10 or something like that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But it looks pretty.
Yeah.
Say what you want about Square, they definitely make games look pretty.
Yeah.
And oh man, and the summons too, when those come in, they even change.
That's the good stuff.
So you get to randomly pick a summon in the beginning, but what they do is they have, I think it's like 8 crystals, but then they blind out what each one is. They make it blank, and then they rotate and shuffle it, so then you're just choosing one of the 8 blank crystals.
Okay.
I ended up choosing Leviathan. Which,
Nice.
All right, whatever, that's cool. And we were in an underground tube. It looked like the underground submerged area from Final Fantasy VII, where you're trying to get to the underwater base.
Right.
I was fighting in that, and when Leviathan got summoned, it basically broke into the tube. So it's doing all of its water attacks. You've got lights flickering on and off. The area gets a little darker, and there's just water everywhere.
That's cool.
So, like I said, it looks beautiful, but
yeah,
I just don't know what I'm doing. And that's all I got for today.
All I played this week was just a tiny little bit of Destiny 2, just to keep up on the Outbreak Perfected quest for this week. I was looking for... So there's 2 different versions of it. There's like the normal and the heroic, which they always do. In the heroic, there's a puzzle at the end, and it is... I don't know how much time it would take me to explain it, so I won't. Basically, there are 3 large terminals, and it tells you which terminal to interact with out of the 49 terminals that are around you. Do that 49 times, you get the reward. So we've done that twice. So it is honestly not the most exciting thing to do, but I'm hoping that the reward is exactly I'm hoping the reward is what I'm hoping it is. There's a ship you'll get at the end of it, and I really hope it's the ship from Destiny 1 that I never got. That would be really great. But most importantly, there was I use the Fireteams subreddit to find groups that want to play stuff right now. And someone had posted and said, like, hey, there's just 2 of us. Like, we never have a third person to play. Just don't be a jerk and maybe try this puzzle with us. And I was like, yeah, you know what, sure. From this post, they seem nice. Most posts are like, know what to do, have 15 clears, need to be able to do this in under 2.5 minutes, and, there's this laundry list of things. So, I grouped up with them, and I think I found my 2 new Destiny buddies. We did the Void puzzle last week, and then we did the Arc puzzle this week, and we're already set up to do the Solar puzzle on Tuesday when that comes out. And I think it's the rare combination of random people that you meet that are, 1, really nice. These 2 people are really nice, and 2, they're really good.
You're forgetting about the secret source at number 3 in this list. On the same time schedule as you.
Yeah, it seems like they are on pretty frequently as well. So I think that the amount of time that they're on is or the time windows that they can be on are pretty generous, which is really great. And additionally, not super chatty, which I really like. Like, we can have fun, we can have some cool convos. When it gets down to business, it's like we're getting down to business. So I really appreciate that, and it's nice to play Destiny with some other people again, like the Hannah from the community, TVGP alumnus, has been playing with me a bunch, but we're still getting him to the point where we could do this stuff. So he's still like a couple weeks off from doing any of this stuff. So nice to. Part of what I think I'm really enjoying is it removes the anxiety of, all right, this thing came out. I have the solutions to the puzzle. Like, I have this week's spreadsheet, which is insane. Now I just need to go find 2 people that are going to be cool and are going to be patient while we sit here for like this 15 minutes and do this pretty boring puzzle to get some reward. And to have that anxiety removed of, we just need to figure out what time we're going to do it on Tuesday, like, that makes me feel so much better, and I don't have to worry about rolling the dice, and I run into very few jerks, but you're still always rolling the dice online, especially with the patch notes that came out this week for what's coming to Destiny 2 in a couple weeks. Most people are probably not going to be super happy to be playing Destiny right now. So, but crybabies are going to cry.
Yep.
Destiny will be fine. I'm not happy with them, but whatever.
If you ever want to feel that anxiety, may I recommend doing pickup groups in Dead by Daylight?
Oh boy.
3 complete randos while you're trying to survive against the killer. Really good. Not bad for anxiety at all.
Yeah. Well, and the hard part with Destiny 2 is I'm doing so much of this 3-man, really difficult endgame stuff that it's not like, let's get a couple people to do PvP and win or lose, whatever, we have fun. Like, I need to go in there and I have a set amount of time and we need to complete it. It's nice to know that I can go in and I can do it and we can be successful. So
I'm just thinking, are you going to put an ad on Indeed so that you can find qualified
Destiny players in my area?
Yeah.
remote jobs available.
Is that Indeed or is that Craigslist?
Maybe a little bit of both. But that's all I've been playing this week, so let's take a break. Let's talk releases for the week of May 20th, 2019. Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered comes out for the Switch.
Okay.
I hope it got a graphical pass since the last time we've seen it because it looked a little rough, but I feel like if there's anywhere that maybe would be the best to kind of suffer through the rough early parts of Assassin's Creed 3, it might be on a portable system.
No,
maybe.
Sure, maybe.
I don't know, man. I'm trying to put a spin on it.
Dude, I got 1,000 gamer score in that game. I can't say nothing.
Yeah. Well, you can definitively say whether it's good or bad.
It's mediocre. It is.
There you go.
It is a bad Assassin's Creed game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It is not a bad game.
There you go.
One of these things, too, I've been wondering, because I've been noticing that a lot of these new, remaster releases are coming to the Switch, and they're all, like, really old games. I'm wondering, are they putting these out for people that they think only played Nintendo and never had an Xbox or
100%.
Or...
Yeah, and some of them are for gamers that are younger too. Like maybe they played Assassin's Creed Origins as their first one because they were old enough to play that game, but maybe they were too young when Assassin's Creed 3 came out. So you might as well start porting 3 and Liberation and Black Flag and
didn't they only just recently released the remasters of 1 and 2, didn't they?
Just 2. They've never remastered 1.
Oh, they really should remaster 1. Because honestly, I get it. It's not the best of games, but own it. Own the
or at least do like a quick remake, remaster, like smooth out some of the edges, like sort of take out some of the real rough parts.
I say, wasn't that what the triple pack was?
No, because that was the 2 trilogy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it's a good trilogy.
Yeah, that's a great set of games.
Oh boy, do you know when the first Assassin's Creed came out?
Like 2007.
Yeah.
Oof,
November 13th, 2007. Sorry to say this, folks, but we are old.
Yeah. Old enough to have seen the quote-unquote broken Assassin's Creed 1 E3 demo.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, like, the re-releasing things, though, because if you're 15 now, how old were you in 2007? I don't think you were playing Assassin's Creed 1.
Right. Or, like, people skipped the 7th gen. Like, they didn't have a 360 or a PS3. Like, there are a lot of people that said, I went off to college. I didn't have time to play video games, and now I do now that I've graduated, so now I'd like to catch up on all this cool stuff I missed.
There's no college student that I've ever met that had said they never had time for video games.
I've met a couple that are like, I got like a doctorate. It's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, okay,
like,
those are people that are going into serious professions. Okay.
Right. Us IT people, we had plenty of time.
How many IT people I went with that were like, oh, you don't play enough. I'm like, dude,
Right. I went to class. It's like,
okay,
whatever.
so you've got the IT folks who had all video games, the doctorates who were all no time to do stuff, and the people in the middle, they were just getting trashed in house parties, so they definitely didn't have the time.
I was doing both. I was getting trashed and playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Jimbo in chat referencing the pre-show.
When the first AC came out, we could eat anything without consequence. Yeah, man. Those halcyon days.
While we're still on this old man kick, someone had posted on Twitter today that Phantom Menace came out in 99 and it is 20 years old today.
I didn't think it's that old.
I didn't think it was that old either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You know what, though? I can never, ever, ever be mad at Phantom Menace because it gave us the best Star Wars piece of music
there you go.
ever, period. I don't care about all your different themes. The Leia theme's great. The main theme is fantastic. Imperial March is amazing. Nothing compares to Duel of the Fates.
Okay. I will. That would be my second favorite, but it's way up there.
If you say Imperial March, I'm going to start smacking
please.
it.
Come on.
At the new place that I work at, every time the manager walks out onto the floor, Imperial March plays.
Jeez. No, my favorite piece would probably be at the end of Empire. That last song that transitions into the credits theme. It's like that real short. Well, that's the credits theme, but like the anyway. Next up is Everybody's Golf VR comes out for PSVR. I really liked Everybody's Golf on PS4. That was my first Hot Shots Golf game that I had played, and this seems pretty neat. I'm not sure how deep it goes into VR, but could be pretty cool. That's a harder game than it seems. So
all golf games are harder than they seem. Power Star Golf is a fun time for about 12 hours until you get deep in the weeds.
I think the only game that wasn't that hard was Outlaw Golf on the original Xbox.
Tell me Rockstar made that, please.
No, they very badly wanted to be Rockstar, though. It was very much like an attitude game, like an attitude golfing game. It was not great. It was fine, but
Golf, what was it, Golf Pro, whatever, 2019 that just went free on Xbox One.
Oh, the Golf Club. Yeah.
The reason I didn't talk about it this week was because I got so fuming mad at it. I didn't get very far into it.
It's hard.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
Water hazards suck.
Yep. Man. Resident Evil 4, 0, and 1 come out on the Switch. Speaking of older games getting remakes, if you want to catch up on 1% of the Resident Evil games that came out, 3 of them are coming out this week.
4, 0, and 1, did you say?
Yeah, 4, 0, and 1.
0's not bad. 4 is,
4 is legendary. I've never played it.
It's just because they changed the controls. It's no longer a tank at that point. It's the over-the-shoulder.
Yeah.
Honestly, 4 is one of my favorite Resident Evil games ever, but boy, do they need to stop re-releasing that thing.
Yeah, 4 and Skyrim are just coming out to everything.
I say everyone lost their S because Leon was back in it.
Yeah.
It was like, he's a cool character, but
don't you besmirch rookie cop Leon S. Kennedy.
I am not besmirching him, but I'm just saying.
I'm not besmirching nobody.
Okay.
I love them all in their weird, quirky ways.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you forget the master of lockpicking? Come on.
That's right.
Jill sandwich.
Next up, Team Sonic Racing coming out for PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Switch.
Is this the sequel?
Yes, this is the third one.
This is the new one.
Yes. I am so excited for this to come out. The Sonic Racing games are unbelievably good. And I'm so excited.
Yep.
If you've never played one of the Sonic Racing games, go check them out. They're legitimately very good.
Can we all agree that kart racing games don't get as much love as they should, except for the one that gets too much love?
100%.
Yeah.
The one that has too many. Actually, Mario Kart. What I found out the other day is that. We talked about this on the Hall of Fame one, where Mario Kart is the longest running racing game. It's sort of like racing series. It's like, oh boy, okay.
Yep. And all of the quote unquote lesser games, I think, are better.
I think CTR is better personally, although I haven't played Mario Kart 8.
Diddy Kong Racing was incredible. I think Diddy Kong Racing blew Mario Kart 64 out of the water, and I loved Mario Kart 64.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a Jack and Daxter one?
Probably.
That was Jack X.
Oh, is that what it was?
I did a PS2 beta for that one. That was an online racer, so I have a beta copy of Jack X on the PS2. It was not good. It was very bad. And I also did another beta for another game that never came out. I have to find that disc again, because I'm not sure if anyone wants a copy of that.
Oh, really quick, while we've got Sonic and the conversation log right now. While we were at the festival, it made me realize, go listen to the pre-show stuff, patreon.com/e1m1. It made me realize that us old curmudgeon-y men need to keep our mouths shut about video game movies and things like that.
Okay.
Because literally 3 times I had different children start running saying, just like Sonic, gotta go fast. So
nice.
All of us old dudes who are so tied into our little precious Sonics on our Genesis and stuff like that.
Yep.
Shut up. Let the kids enjoy what they're going to enjoy.
It was never made for us in the first place.
Just because kids like it doesn't mean they should.
I agree completely.
That's fair.
I agree. I don't want to listen to that stupid hot dog song ever again.
Yeah.
But if the kid likes it, I'm not going to stop them from enjoying it.
Well, Moon and I have talked about this for a number of years, that we are not always the target market for everything, and that's okay.
No, that's fine.
That's
stop.
fine.
Stop putting petitions out to change somebody's teeth.
Stop being a butt.
Who cares?
Stop putting petitions out in general, unless it's like my local council is doing something wrong. That's a cool petition.
Yes.
You want to talk about whoever Batman is? Go outside for a bit. Take a walk around the block. Breathe it out.
Go to your local comic book store. Buy some comics.
God, yeah.
Support your local comic book stores, and I'm sure they'll share your opinions. And you'll
yell at a tree for a while.
They'll make some money, and everything will be fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to go out and see stuff or complain about stuff when the world is falling apart around your ears. Moving on.
Right. Observation is coming out for PS4 and PC. This is the game I've been pretty excited about for a while. The one where you play a space station, and you're looking at why the space station fell apart. So cool. Another Devolver Digital published joint. That part is important. Devolver Digital doesn't make games. Remember, everyone.
Nope.
A big props to Devolver, though, by the way, because they themselves have identified that is a real problem, and they are working towards addressing it.
What, that they don't make games?
Well, everyone, because their brand is so strong, everyone thinks Devolver is making 50 games a year and they're all great. And Devolver finally said, like, we know it's a problem. We have to bring more transparency to the talented teams that develop these games that we publish.
I did actually love. I think I saw them. Someone tweeted at them saying they love the game, and they responded from their account with, "That's great. Send your love to the devs over at
these guys made it."
And link the actual original devs in.
Yeah, that's been a big problem. Dauntless comes out on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Basically, this is a free-to-play game that is kind of Monster Hunter, which is interesting. Looks fairly good. Obviously, it's not Monster Hunter World. People should probably stop expecting that out of a free-to-play game.
Yes.
But early stuff seems pretty cool. So, Dauntless might be fun. Free to play.
Why not?
Why not? And lastly, Dance Central. The new version of this comes out on the Oculus Quest.
Yep.
Harmonix putting out this cool-looking new version. I watched the trailer for that, and both this and the other VR game that they're coming out with both look really cool.
Yep. Did you see their reasons to buy Dance Central? Like promotion
No.
things? I just got to use reason number 4. think it was number 4. The floors are always clean.
Great. Big props for Harmonix. Clean those floors. All right, let's move on to news stories. Blizzard has finally announced the release date for WoW Classic, World of Warcraft Classic, the 2004 version of World of Warcraft. I just turned into dust because I played the closed alpha of the original World of Warcraft. So, excuse me while I perish. That will be running
in high school, dude.
Yeah, I was I just gotten into college. No, I just graduated college. Sorry, 2004. I just graduated college.
Yeah, I just graduated high school at that point.
Oof. Yeah. Old man over here. That'll be starting on August 27th. There is a beta running right now. It's sort of like a stress test / network beta. The great part is Blizzard has released a not a bug list for WoW Classic, which are all the things that we promise aren't broken. They were just like that in 2004.
Yep. I love
and that is
they've released not a bug list.
It's a really great list where, like, these things don't work anymore, or, like, hitboxes for Tauren are really big. Deal with it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I had read that when you go to submit a bug, you have to read through the FAQ list now.
Right. Yeah, I guess Blizzard said that they were just getting inundated by people being like, hey, this isn't supposed to work this way. It's like, yes, we know. It's WoW Classic.
Yeah, like something about like revived times and load times and all this other stuff.
Oh yeah, like that stuff's going to be unoptimized. Like, yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but be careful what you wish for. You people all wanted this. You wanted this hellscape that you've brought upon yourselves. Enjoy it. If I was Blizzard, I would remove the report a bug option.
Yeah, like
delete it.
It's probably fine. There are going to be bugs. Deal with it. It's fine. Mm-hmm. The only bug that I would love to really see replicated, I don't know how they would do it, was when the game first launched, like those first really rough couple of weeks, every once in a while you'd go bend down, like you'd go down on one knee to loot a corpse, and the network would freak out. So you couldn't loot the corpse, but you'd be scooting around on one knee around, like until you got kicked out of the game world. I'd like to see them bring that back somehow. I don't know how they would do that, but that'd be great. Speaking of not great, Skull and Bones delayed again. Now it's coming in 2020.
Can we just put a big red cross over this and move on, please?
I'm really bummed because I feel like every time they keep showing stuff about this game, it looks so cool. And I'm waiting for them to come out with a release date so they can really start talking about what it is.
It's For Honor with pirate ships. Move on.
Well, then I'm not really that interested.
Come on, you know that's exactly what it is. It's the Assassin's Creed pirate ship combat, except it's multiplayer only, just like For Honor is, and it's going to be questionable at best.
I really want to... Speaking of For Honor, I really want to watch that documentary about For Honor. Apparently it is really honest to the point where they're surprised Ubisoft signed off on it. Because it follows three people. Like that guy with the cane that got pushed out of Ubisoft, apparently it follows him pretty closely about here's my baby. Whoops, someone else took it. Whoops, they're destroying it. Whoops, depression. Yeah. So that sounds like it's a really good watch.
That to me, that sounds like whoever that team is, they had signed contracts up front saying, you do not get final edit in this.
If give us carte blanche.
We're going to do what we need to do.
We're not going to screw you, but,
It's hearing Danny O'Dwyer talk about, the sign-offs he has to get through people.
Yeah.
The stuff he had to go through with Bethesda to be able to do the Fallout 76 doc that he did.
I bet. Crazy town. Next news story, Microsoft and Sony announce a new cloud gaming partnership. Please make note, Microsoft and Sony, not Xbox and Sony.
Yep.
People that are thinking this is some sort of cross-platform device that's coming, that's not it. PS Now is going to be running on the Azure framework, Microsoft's cloud framework. This is a really big win for Microsoft, and mostly because, number one, Sony finally admitting, hey, we can't do cloud stuff well. Thank you.
We can't do serve as well.
Yeah,
like welcome to the party. But also from a Microsoft standpoint, surprisingly, Amazon and AWS didn't get this, who's usually the front runner in all the cloud technology stuff. So it's really interesting to see Sony and Microsoft, who are typically Sony and Xbox are competitors. It's really interesting for Sony and Microsoft to come together on the Azure framework to get this stuff running.
I am very curious if it's the fact that Microsoft can flop their big D on the table and be like, we already do this. We already have proof that we can do this, and it works.
I bet. I mean, I think when you look at Amazon, I think you look at them and they have their own gaming framework and they have their own game engine, whatever it's called now. They keep changing the name of it. They have that stuff and they're friendly to that stuff. But I think you're right, Moon. When you look at Microsoft can come out and say, look, we've been doing cloud stuff forever, with OSs and hardware forever. Mm-hmm. And we're obviously doing really great at Game Pass and in the future game streaming at some point. We got this. We can put you guys on this framework and you're good. So, yeah, and I think Sony wins that they don't have to manage it anymore.
Yep.
That's the big win about cloud services is, hey, it's not my problem anymore.
I think the best thing is that even if it doesn't work properly, Microsoft still has the opportunities. Like, don't blame us; it's their front end, not our back end. Our back end works. If they can proof.
You can do this, point the finger at each other. Yeah.
If you want proof that what we do works, go play on the Xbox.
It almost sounds like you've worked in IT before.
Unfortunately,
it's not our servers; it's your code. That can't be the problem. Yeah. And lastly, Mojang announces Minecraft Earth. This is for the 10th anniversary of Minecraft, which, happy birthday, Minecraft, by the way.
Yep.
Earth? It just came from space, remember that. Or Hatsune Miku, either one. No, it's Pokemon Go Minecraft. I think my front runner for largest game of 2019, hands down. Basically, you're going to take your phone and, like Pokemon Go, use an AR interface to go do Minecraft stuff in the real world. Pretty much exactly like Pokemon Go. So if there was anything that was going to be a stupid huge hit, it was going to be Minecraft Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
So this looks really cool. I think the more AR stuff we can do, especially with just your phone, I think is cool. And having Minecraft stuff in the real world, like that's too cool.
How long until kids crawl into storm drains looking for diamonds?
I mean, day one, like the first hour. I mean, I'm hopefully they'll do stuff like Pokemon Go does, where it's specific places like in a park or in the mall or places like that. It's not just like in this creek with a dead body in it. It's not like
come get some wood on
backyard or
right your neighbor's pool. Nothing like that. But
I can't wait for all the stupid custom homemade signs from companies and people where I don't
running away from a creeper. We have AC in this building.
Exactly, and your Steve is not in my backyard. Trespassers will be shot.
Oh my God, your Steve is not in my backyard. You're Steve Nimby.
Mm-hmm.
God, that's so good. I gotta write that down. That's. But I think this seems really cool, and I know a lot of people are gonna say like, oh well, thankfully something gets the kids outside, but this AR stuff is like, I just love AR stuff. It's just so cool.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love AR stuff too. I was never one for going outside when I was a kid. And I'm guessing from the pale complexions of my colleagues here that neither.
No, I spent so much time outside.
Yeah, I don't like to leave the house for any reason.
Yeah, as a kid, I spent so much time outside.
But I never wanted to go outside anyway. And no offense, 2019 planet Earth is not a good time to be outside in general.
Yeah. Stay inside with you and your friends in your Minecraft server. Play some Fortnite. Yeah, wait until Fortnite AR comes out. Ooh, boy.
As long as you stay in a pack, you'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we always did when we were kids. Just a pack of feral children on a bunch of bikes.
And riding bikes all over the place.
Yeah, hurting each other. It's good times. All right, let's move on to emails. Last week I skipped an email from Slick Nick that we'll talk about. He says, it's a little bit longer here, but some good questions, so So I take it piecemeal. Hello, TVGP crew. Hello. Been meaning to write about the topics you all talk about. My work schedule changed and has messed up everything. Thank you for writing.
I feel ya.
Yeah. A couple weeks ago when Moon talked about being a fan of achievements/trophies, I understood that a lot. Made me go and seek out some cheap platinum trophies. I went and got about 5 platinum in about a week. Jeez. It's great on the PS side with the Vita. You can double up on the trophy count. That's true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you create a UK account, you can tie it with your main account. One of my favorites is My Name is Mayo. All you have to do is constantly spam the X button, then you need to hit it about 10,000 times.
That sounds a little bit like Avatar: The Last Airbender game.
Yeah, exactly. Where it's like, just stand here and hit the X button. Yay, 1,000 points. The last month's free game, Conan, is a freebie. You can turn on admin mode and kill everything for the platinum. That's pretty good.
Almost everything.
Oh, yeah?
You still need... I did the same thing. There's one trophy that won't unlock with it, and you have to kill something by standing on top of its head.
Oh, okay.
You can try to spawn something and get it, but the easiest way is to have a co-op partner stand on their head and squish them to death.
Oh, that's not so bad. On the other side of that, I really like them for the challenge to complete everything in the game. My proudest ones I have the platinum for are all the Dark Souls games. Jeez. Wow.
Yep. I fell off a little bit, so the OG Dark Souls I've only got the 1K on. I've never played Bloodborne. I don't think I've played 2 or 3, so...
You never played Demon's Souls either, right?
I think on my original PlayStation account, I'm pretty sure I got the full platinum on that.
Crystal Lizards, man, that's hardcore.
Yep. There was a guide, there was lots of reloading, there was lots of... Yep.
I didn't get them, close the game, start back over.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Still working on getting it done for the Dark Souls remaster. There's some games I will not even try. I just finished replaying Bioshock Infinite. I love that story and the gameplay. I will never beat it on 1999 mode. I actually got that one.
It's not as bad as you think it is.
No, not nearly as bad as it sounds. I got the full 1,000 points on that.
Yeah, that is nowhere near as bad as you think it is. Like 1999 mode's actually, compared to some of the other ones out there, relatively easy.
1999 is the most fun I had in that game, hands down. That's a great mode. There was only like one boss. There's some like ghost you fight in a cemetery. Like that's the hardest part about it. The rest of it is just play smart, be cool. Don't get too crazy. And it's hard, but it's definitely not impossible.
Yeah, I mean the thing with achievements is based on descriptions alone. You can read it and go, I ain't ever getting that one.
Right.
And then you'll get it surprisingly easy, like 1989 mode, or you'll be like, that's not too hard. That's fine.
It's easy.
And then 200 hours later, you still haven't got that achievement. And for whatever stupid reason, I got all of the base multiplayer achievements in Bioshock 2. Like, I played the crap out of that multiplayer mode.
Bioshock 2 is so good.
Yep.
Go play Bioshock 2, people. Come on. It continues, I've been playing Days Gone. We were just talking about that, actually. I really like the game. It's not the best game out there, but the gameplay and the story has me hooked. The freaker hordes are the one coolest things in it. He put those on double quotes. I didn't do that. They will come out of nowhere and swarm me real quick. The stealth in the game is really good as well. I would definitely tell people to try it. Sorry to keep rambling on. Love the work that goes into the show. Thanks, Nick. Yeah, we were talking, I think it was during the break, we were talking about like, more and more people are talking about how Days Gone is really good. I put that on the PS Price's watch list, so, get that and like a Plague Tale Innocent is 2 games that are sort of like, people are really talking a lot about how those games are good. It's like, all right,
Plague Tale is 100% on my buying list. I messaged a friend who's been playing it. And basically pointed out that I'm not in the best mental health state right now, which is why a lot of my games have been stupid games that I don't have to focus too much on. And my question was, should I play it or should I wait? And
are there too many rats?
Maybe wait a little bit. So I'm going to wait to play something like that. It's the same reason I haven't played Senua's Sacrifice yet.
Oh, yeah, boy.
It's like
same with Nier Automata.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. God, Nier Automata's good. Jimbo Jangles sends us an email. Says, hey guys, Jimbo Jangles here. Hello, Jimbo. There's a certain show that comes to an end today. Many people who love the show are furious about the turn of events in the finale season, so that brings me to my question this week. Has there ever... Yes.
Fringe ended like 10 years ago, dude. It's time to let go.
Yeah, we're catching up on reruns.
It wasn't great, but it was still pretty solid.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to say, since I've been on here, I've been bringing the show down.
Yeah, a little bit of... Yeah. Has there ever been a game you absolutely loved until the end? Can a bad ending ruin an otherwise good game? What are your thoughts? Have a great show.
We've just been mentioning every game in the series except for it, BioShock 1. The end of that game is hot garbage.
I mean, after the turn in the office, the big twist.
After the moment, it's terrible.
It's a downhill, and that last boss battle, like I feel for that team. They even came out and they're like, "What were we gonna do, man? Like, what do you make for a final boss battle?" It's like, yeah, I get it. BioShock 2 figured it out, but
pretty sweet.
What was that?
I said that plot twist was pretty sweet, though.
Yeah, still really good.
Have you played BioShock 2?
Yeah, I played all three of them.
Okay.
I just get so upset when people are like, "I love BioShock 1." Of course I didn't play BioShock 2.
Yeah,
it's like, it's better.
It's the people who like, "I love BioShock 1. BioShock Infinite was okay. Did you play 2? No."
Yeah. It's the best one. It's so good.
Yeah.
If only the remaster would have brought that multiplayer over. I understand why they didn't, but multiplayer was so good.
Without spoiling the perspective shift in BioShock 2.
Oh, it's so good.
It's one of my favorite moments in video game history. Period.
Yep.
Go play BioShock 2, people.
It's usually like $5. Like any Steam sale, now at this point, any PSN or Xbox One sale, it's so cheap.
And honestly, the story for all three of them, I mean, they were all really good. The third one, I won't say it was the greatest, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And they both had their own weird plot twist, either halfway through or towards the end, that you were just like, whoa, I completely see the whole beginning half of this game in a different light now.
Yeah.
Which you don't really get that a whole lot in video games, really, so...
Yeah. Great games with bad endings.
Can I do the controversial one?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Mass Effect 3.
Sure, I think a lot of people would agree with you. I thought it was fine.
I won't say it ruined the ending, and I'll rehash this because I know I've gotten into fights with people about it before. My issue wasn't that you had to choose an ending. My issue was that one of the endings, they straight up retconned canon that was already established, and then just decided not to follow on that.
Oh, okay.
So, I guess, I'll just get into it. So, I guess spoilers if you haven't played it. Skip ahead a minute. If you choose I think it was the bad ending or the red ending, whatever.
The destruction one?
Yeah, they blow up all the Mass Effect relays. In the DLC Fallen Sky, I think it was called, for Mass Effect 2, it was about a Mass Effect relay possibly blowing up, and they were talking about how these Mass Effect relays, when they go, they take out an entire solar system. And all of these Mass Effect relays are in every civilized solar system. So if you choose that, you blow them all up, which means there is no civilization.
You blow
at
up the
all
entire
in the
galaxy.
Milky Way. Yeah.
Right.
And that was my biggest issue, was just, you guys had already pre-established this is what would happen, then you chose this as an ending, but you've decided that, oh no, everything's still, as hunky-dory as it could be for the ending.
Right.
And that was really my issue with the ending. It didn't, ruin the whole series or that game for me.
I think that's fair. I think that's the most fair defense of disliking that ending that I have heard.
Can I throw my Mass Effect hate in?
Sure.
For a second? Specifically 3. In my case, specifically, it's the fact that they bowed down to consumer wishes.
Yeah.
Because correct me if I'm wrong here, but all these petitions for these actors for playing these roles and these TV shows that you don't like, that 1 million people can sign a petition for, but nobody can get out and do something about the horrible things going on the planet. This all started when a little company called EA took that information that millions of people were not happy or whatever, or these vocal people were not happy, and they promised to go back and quote unquote fix what they had made rather than just deal with it. I can't remember a situation before that of fans being unhappy and a company bowing down to that degree of hatred or outspokenness against this ending. So what I'm trying to say is EA led us to 2019, the 19th of May, when 1 million people signed a Game of Thrones petition.
Right.
EA
they weren't
put us
happy about
directly in that square.
And I think the thing that I've always been frustrated about, I don't want to talk too much about Mass Effect 3 forever, but the thing I was always frustrated about Mass Effect 3 is I feel like everyone misunderstood the core problem. Is that the ending that you chose for Mass Effect 3 did not necessarily take into account all the decisions that you've made. I think the thing I would have liked to have seen BioWare gone and done is kept the endings for Mass Effect 3 how they were, but just flesh out a lot of the stuff that came after you picked your ending. Where, like, what happens to a lot of your teammates? Like, can there be a lot of stuff that changed? I know the Citadel DLC made a lot of people happy because they got the party thing and all that stuff happened, but I think it would have been a more appropriate quote-unquote fix if they've just fleshed out the endings that they had with here's what happened to everybody, or so little couple of scenes here or there, maybe varying depending on what you chose, but not what they did.
Well, I mean, they even could have left it where it's like, all right, so that's the end of 3, going into 4 instead of getting Andromeda, which I still liked. It could have been, okay, this is what happened after 3. This is all this, devastation that could have had. That could have happened. That could have been what we got now, except for people being mad at Andromeda, which
because of a meme.
Yeah.
It also allows them to take it back to a much smaller scale if they go down that. Like, it's not, like, if all of that stuff has happened and whatever the ending that you chose was, you can then take that, and rather than focus on galactic ending things, you can go back to a single planet. You can go back to a single city and tell a story on a much smaller scale. You can do the Ant-Man thing and not care about the galaxy. Just focus on one small group of people.
Yeah.
Also, honestly, sorry, just the final thing for me on Mass Effect 3.
Sure. If
they wanted to be real strong-hearted about this, they could have said, here are your decisions from 1, here are your decisions from 2, here are your decisions from 3. This is your ending, deal with it. No choices.
That would have been awesome.
Is what you
play
chose.
Another 90 hours if you want to get a different ending.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what a lot of PC games did back in the day. I mean, and I'm not sure if I don't think people know what they... Obviously, people don't know what they want, but I think people really wanted that, not knowing that's not what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other good games with bad endings. I'm trying to think.
Red Dead Redemption 1, just because I don't like the character, the post-game character, just because he's a hole.
Someone brings up Borderlands 1. I think that's a bad boss battle, but I don't think that's a bad ending.
Yeah.
And I mean, really, how do you expect those games to end? Really?
Yeah. Like, someone says Metal Gear Solid 2, you shut your mouth.
I was like, you take that back.
Yeah, you take that back. You're wrong.
Hold on. Let me figure out Metal Gear Solid 2's ending.
You're fighting the president.
That's a bad ending.
No.
Don't get me wrong, it's the best kind of bad, but that is a terrible ending.
I will
so
disagree.
Bad it's good ending.
I will. I think you play that game in 2019 and you see what the internet is doing now, and that game is talking about what the internet is doing now.
It is, and I'm going to stop you and point you over to Rising Revengeance for the best ending when it comes to 2019.
Also, to be fair, a lot of the ending of Metal Gear Solid 2 got cut out because of 9/11, so there's a large amount of it that's pretty nonsensical.
Yes.
Someone brings up Half-Life. Yes.
Yeah.
That ending is a mess.
The first one or the second one?
The first one.
Oh.
As soon as you hit Zen, like, that thing is just a trash fire.
I'm not gonna lie, it's been so long since I've played either one, they kind of blend together now.
I sort of dug 2's ending because you got that cool gravity gun and you were just like blasting through a citadel, or like the citadel thing, and you got.
All I remember are the head crabs.
Yeah,
Jimbo in chat, Ghosts and Goblins. The
oh man, again. God, the ultimate like screw you in gaming. Good job, you did it. Do it all again, and don't die.
I'm trying to think of some truly horrific endings.
Yeah, I'm trying to Google here to see if I can find anything that's like really truly terrible.
Gears 3 endings fell a bit flat for me.
I feel like most of Gears 3's emotional tugs fell pretty flat for me. I think they did the best they could. It didn't do really great.
Yeah, I think the most that game elected from me was just whoa, that sucked.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was never sort of like, no.
But what about Dom?
Yeah, that's the part I'm talking about. Whoa, that sucked.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I find it hard to care about the Gears of War Dom when the better Dom exists in the Fast and the Furious franchise.
There you go. Here's a good one, Fallout 3, the original release's ending.
Yep, that's a horrific ending.
That was not great. That's one time where I'm happy for them to go through and change the ending, so it's like, after you, mutant.
Well, I was going to say, that was mostly because you had a super obvious out where it's like, all right, send the super mutant in. Why do I have to go?
I'll do it. Yeah. Don't worry.
They were trying to make this, I don't know.
Someone said Batman...
Happy Kurt Spock thing where it's like, oh no, die for the greater good. It's like, no, you really didn't have to
You don't have to, man. Someone said Batman Arkham Asylum. I would sort of agree with that, but I think that's more like Borderlands 1 where it's bad boss fight than it is bad ending.
Yeah, Arkham City is the same. That's a horrific boss fight at the end of that game. That's the classic thing of you need a boss fight at the end of your game. No, you don't. Get over this.
I'm a detective, man.
Yeah.
Half-Life 2 Episode 2. I think that's a really great ending, assuming that there's ever something coming after that. If you take out that assumption, then I don't think that's great.
Wasn't it the Deus Ex game, not the newest one, where you either had to like turn on a computer or walk through a door, and that's how you chose an ending or something like that?
No, I don't remember that. I was laughing because someone wrote Halo 2. I mean, that's probably got to be the one, right? The ending is next time on Halo.
Yeah.
Literally, it's time to finish the fight. I'm going to ride this bomb from the stratosphere onto the planet towards these enemy troops, and it cuts to credits. Yeah. That might be one of the best.
Someone writes, Life is Strange? Shut up. Hey, Life is Strange's ending is really great because there's no right choice.
Yes.
You dummies. Jesus Christ. Rage, that's a pretty good one.
Actually, we were talking about that too. None of us in Discord really remembered how the original Rage ended. Like, I can tell you I played it.
I think it was one of those where like you fought an enemy and it's sort of like, alright, we're done.
Maybe. I know you fought a big thing halfway
Fable
through the game.
2.
That's
Stupid Fable 2.
And the Just Cause games.
Someone wrote Crackdown. How dare you?
Whoa, which Crackdown? Which Crackdown?
The first one.
First and foremost.
The first one.
Okay, the first one is one of the best endings in video games history.
Guess what? You're the bad guy.
You don't diss Crackdown 1.
Crackdown 2's ending I thought was pretty okay with the hand. I thought that was alright.
I love the fact that they paid that forwards kind of into Crackdown 3.
They did. They managed to tie up the lore.
Yep.
Yeah. Kane Lynch 2 Dog Days. I will get behind that. That is an atrocious ending. That you fight through this. I played this for a review. You fight through like an airport, and you fight all the way up onto a plane. You get in the plane, credits. That's it. And after what is literally a 4-hour campaign.
That's pretty good.
I don't think that was the only issue with that game.
You know, actually, I really enjoyed Kane and Lynch 2. I thought that was a really fun playing game.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the first one.
No, first one had some problems. I feel like they fixed a lot of that with the second one. It just needed like 12 more hours. Like, it was so much fun to play and had such a cool style, and that was a great game. But yeah.
I got one for you.
Okay.
Dead Space 3.
I never finished that.
The last boss is a moon.
Right, I forgot about you fighting an evil moon.
Mm-hmm.
At least they could have you fighting Ego the Living Planet. Although I guess that's not even a great deep cut anymore after stupid movie.
You've lost your nerd cred thanks to Guardians 2.
I've lost my Monster Magnet song cred. If anyone gets that, you and me are best friends. Let's move on to our last couple questions here from T-Bomb Rocks in Discord. Watch Dogs 3, yes, has been brought up a few times, but more info about this game is leaking out, yes, and it looks like it might be coming around holiday this year, please. What do you want to see stay from the last two games, and what do you want to see changed? Of course, the final mission from Part 1, it's so bad.
Or a good portion of stuff from Part 1.
Yeah.
I'm going to take my deep dive in this first, if you don't mind, gents.
Sure.
What I want to see from 1 and 2, whatever Boston likes about 2, bring that in, it's fine.
All of
what everybody doesn't like about 1, take that out, that's fine. The most important thing I want to see at the start of Watch Dogs 3 is I want to see this rugged dude, I hate to be specific here, but this rugged old white dude with a little bit of stubbly beard come out of his house, look at the shape of the world that it's in with all this stuff, go back into his house, come out wearing a tactile neck, which is a black turtleneck for those who don't get the Archer reference.
Right.
Black pants, all of the stupid bands and the hip things and the clicky things that give you ammo pouches and stuff.
Your battle rattle?
Yes. And then I want him to put on a hat and then flip it down, and it comes up with 3 green lights and it goes pew. And it's a Splinter Cell game. That's what I want from
Boom.
the Boom.
Secret Splinter Cell game. God, that'd be great. I largely think they hit the nail on the head with 2. The 2 big rumors for this one is it's going to be in London. Great.
Good choice. Very good choice.
There's going to be a woman as the main character. Great. I want to hear those diapers fill up immediately as soon as that trailer comes on. I'm so excited. Part of what I want them to take 2 things, 2 major sort of tent poles from 2. So I think 2 did really well. One is the RC car and the drone from 2. I want them to take that or stuff like that over to 3. Because I think using those things to scout stuff out and mark your targets and check out where all your entrances are, that made it so much easier to play Watch Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is, have fun with it like 2 did. 2 was goofy and weird, and I really wish I could talk about some of the really late game, really big set piece stuff, because it's crazy and intense and stupid, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Keep doing that stuff. Like, one of the biggest problems with 1, it was so serious. Like, it took itself so seriously. 2 had fun with hacker culture and being part of this thing. And I really wish they could find a way to keep 2 going like that.
Can you shoot out of a car while you're driving it in 2?
Oh, man.
Alright, so they need to add that to 3.
I don't know, because I never really drove a lot of cars in 2. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Were you mostly a motorbike person in 2?
No, I ran around a lot, because I felt like on most open world games I run around a lot in general, because I think that's kind of fun. But it was cool to run around San Francisco. See all that. Mm-hmm. Plus, you got so many missions where it's like, oh, you're close to something you need to take a picture with your phone, and you would often miss that if you were driving around.
Yeah.
I know my favorite thing, because I know I hate on the first one quite a bit, but kind of my favorite thing was getting on the L in Chicago, and then realizing I got on the wrong train.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, yeah, this has happened to me in real life a couple times.
Right, I have done that.
let me tell you about the London Tube system and how confusing that's going to be.
Oh, man, yeah. And the last question here is, I've been enjoying Rage 2 a lot. Yeah, there we go. It's a game that's just really about having fun. I noticed you could buy coins for microtransactions. When I went into the menu to see what they offered, I was pleasantly surprised to only see skins for sale. Do you think if more companies take this route, the industry can police itself rather than the government stepping in? Sure,
Yes
but
and no.
they can't help themselves.
Yeah. I mean, yes, if they can do this, then they can stop the government from stepping in. But at the same time, blame the hashtag video games as being a smokescreen for other problems as long as we can ever remember it.
Since Mortal Kombat came out,
And
since D&D came out.
And before that, it was blame the movies, and before that, it was blame the D&D. It was
Blame comics.
It's a multi-trillion-dollar industry at this point that everybody, like it or not, everybody these days is a gamer. And it's easy to pin the blame on that to stop people thinking or talking about other things that might be a problem instead.
Until cyber drugs come out, then video games are gonna be the scapegoat.
Yeah, and let's not mince words either. Microtransactions are a problem. They are a predatory tactic used against vulnerable people, both minors and not minors, which really annoys me that this legislation specifically cites minors, never mind people who suffer from
adults with
issues.
gambling addictions.
Yeah.
You know,
Which is like what I brought up last week too. This is just a tug on the heartstrings.
Yeah.
Everyone throws in minor, and everyone feels, we have to take action, unless it has to deal with guns. But,
Think of the
that's a
children.
different podcast.
Right.
Yep.
Well, and I think my larger question about Rage 2 is, why are you selling skins in a single-player game? Why are these not unlockables? Like, why? You can accelerate the unlockable, that's fine. I haven't played it, so maybe they are unlockables and you're just, like Split Second, you're just skipping the lines and you're just unlocking everything. But it seems to me...
a multiplayer or a co-op?
It might have co-op. I don't think it has multiplayer.
I don't know. I haven't looked into it at all.
Yeah, I think it has co-op. It's just... From what I've seen, it's just basically another open-world shooter. Like a... Yeah, so with a bunch of icons. So it's one of those things where it's like, why are you selling microtransactions? I can see something like Borderlands 3, you're selling some skins. Sure, that's fine. Like, whatever. That's an expectation.
Boston, they're not selling skins because there is no microtransactions.
There are not
in that
microtransactions. We're just selling skins one at a time for very small amounts of money in a transactional nature.
Dude,
but not
Boston?
MTX.
Why you gotta do me dirty like that, Boston?
Why do you gotta do me dirty? Why do you have to F me like this? I don't understand, Game Informer. Please. Why? We've been friends. Talking about filling up diapers. Hey-oh. All right. Well, that's our episode this week. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening and writing in. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Everywhere to find and follow us on the right-hand side of the page. Like we talked about at the top of the episode, patreon.com/E1M1. Here's some Irish guilt. Help me feed my family. Patreon.com/E1M1. Help me feed my family. Help me feed your podcatcher. The brand new game for Game Club is Cuphead, voted by you, the Patreon monsters.
Yeah, I was going to say, can we take a second out of here to say F the patrons?
Yeah.
Because you guys voted for Cuphead for Game Club.
Thank you for your patronage, comma, how dare you.
Yes.
So the game that Musim said he thought he avoided.
Yep.
So, yeah, we'll see how that one goes in a month. And I think that's pretty... Well, we're getting to the end of the month here, so there should be... next couple weeks, there'll be coming up a brand new episode of Old Dog New Flicks. If you're a patron at the $5 level, you get that a couple months early. And I think that's it. So we'll see you all next week.
Bye.
See ya.
Okay. Nimp, hit me with them titles.
Alright. So we have... It has achievements. What happens if I shoot it?
Mm-hmm.
Bonus blood points. What did you even say? Monogram Spidey sense. And then we have to do it with the voice where it's glutened.
Glutened.
Doing Air Christ. It's a little fiddly at first. Oh, weird. I'll probably dig that. I'm hoping the reward is what I hope it is. Not super chatty, which I like.
Yeah, I do like that.
But crybabies are gonna cry. And I want to hear those diapers fill.
It's probably not going to happen, but I'm going to write down, I want to hear those diapers fill.
That gets my vote, even though it's probably also a veto because of SEO. Because we don't want that kind of crowd coming into this kind of crowd.
I've like fully turned the corner on internet outrage, where it's like, oh, what's the drama of the day? I'm going to keep my ear to the ground for those diapers, just really quiet in the distance, just hearing them fill. So good. And then just block a ton of people on Twitter. Oh, it feels so good. Move here.
Jimbo in chat. With tier 3 stalking, boss puzzles, and also summons your summon.
Summons your summon. That's pretty good.
My ones are Destiny player at heart, Shooty McBang.
Sorry, I wrote that down. I said bang bang shooties.
What happens when I shoot it? Dip dodge. Woohoo, very whispered, because there's a Song 2 reference.
Woohoo.
REKT wrecked. That sounds simple. It's not. I can't read because my eyes are watering. Water hazards suck.
Yeah.
Pack of feral children. And the diapers fill up.
I wrote, give me the gifts. Bang bang shooties. I'm not besmirching nobody. Your Steve is not in my backyard. I'm disappointed neither one of you wrote down
I
that.
knew you had that one. You literally stopped the show to say.
It's so good.
You said on air, I'm writing that one down. I'm not going to waste my ink. I'm having enough trouble with this pen as it is.
It's true.
I can only tap so fast on my tablet.
Send you another one of these. And I want to hear those diapers fill.
So it sounds like I want to hear those diapers fill one.
I sort of want to do it. So it sounds so good. It's these man babies filling up these diapers.
It does. Don't get me wrong, I think it's a great title. I also think it's a title that traditionally would get vetoed from this show.
That's fair.
I mean, Joe Cole, I vote for it. If you want to stick that in, I can do all the noises you want at the intro.
Yeah, I don't... Well, I think our show might be above poop noises. Largely. Unless we're
poop noises.
Unless we're being sarcastic, then it's like, oh yeah, this game's great. I like bang bang shooties. I'm not besmirching nobody. Your Steve is not in my backyard is pretty good. That's pretty long though.
Yeah, that was my concern with that one.
I might still vote for your Steve is not my backyard. You have the sweet Minecraft SEO.
Yes, because Steve means Minecraft.
Yeah, or my brother. That's his name. My brother, who's the community, had unanimously voted last time he was on the show, in like episode 8. He's not allowed on the show anymore, because we sound exactly the same.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you do.
That was confusing. I'm going to vote for your Steve is not my backyard.
Oh, wow. Now I'm going to come up with something to do with Minecraft.
No, you don't.
Creepers, silverfish, diamond, dragon boss, blocky voxels.
Okay, I'll go with a creepers reference.
Yeah.
I'm going to go deep cut on this, so I wonder if Boston will actually get it.
Probably not. I bought Minecraft back in like the alpha days, and I've never really played it.
No, I'm going to make the noise.
Okay. I sort of know the noise. Okay, Nip, are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 604 for May 20th, 2019. Your Steve is not in my backyard.
Creepers.
But he's definitely in Carl's backyard. Wink.
All right, thanks so much, everyone, for watching. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
And we can stop recording.